Hey everybody, Dr. Sean Drake here with Racket Fit, and we're excited to be able to give you a tool to help your clients out during quarantine. Now it's really important to understand, number one, if your athlete actually has a physical limitation affecting them. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you a screen that you can send to them, and then we're going to give you some correctives to maybe help out that situation if there is a physical limitation. Now at Racket Fit, we have a philosophy on the swing. There's not one way to swing this racket. There's an infinite number of ways, and it's based upon what you can physically do. So what we're going to talk about today is the coil within the serve, and one major important area that's often overlooked, the ankles. So what I want to talk about first is the coil. When you've got an athlete and they're in their serve position, their continental grip or whatever grip they're in a platform stance, once they get into their trophy position, we should be able to see this shoulder from behind. Now a lot of players, what will happen is they'll tend to be like this to where we actually don't ever see that. That's what we call no coil. Now what's really important here is the screen that we're going to talk about. The first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you a wall squat test. So you're going to need a wall. You're going to need an ability to measure where the middle finger is on the athlete, and more importantly, you're going to want to look at them from the side here in a second to see whether or not their heels come up. So in the wall squat test, why this is different than what we say our deep squat or maybe our wide squat test that we do in some of our sports, we'll use this in ground strokes, is the ability to go down, come up and touch the ground and do this. Well, in the serve, a lot of times the squat looks like this. So this is how we came up with the wall squat. So when you get to the wall, have your athlete put their feet, their butt, their back, and their head against the wall. Their arms are going to go straight against the wall like this, and you'll see that I have some rock tape here to measure where my middle finger is. Now, the three parts that are important to understand about this screen are the fingers, the palm, and the wrist crease. So if they go down and their heels start to come up, so you're always looking for the heels. So say for instance I'm going down, and all of a sudden my heels start coming up, that's where I'm going to measure. Is it at the fingers, the palm, or past the crease? Now the best players in the world can get past the crease. So if my fingers are here and I'm going down, I'm like, okay, go down, 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 down. All of a sudden my heels start to come up and I'm at the palm, that's where I'm gonna measure. Now it's really important that we look at two things. So say for instance, we're going down and say we get stopped at the fingers. I say, okay, is it right or left foot? What I'll do is I'll go tandem. I'll bring my left foot in front of the right. Again, I'm in the same position and I'll go down and I can actually get past my wrist crease on this. So you can see where my wrist crease is, it gets past that line. Then I go to the left. I'm like, all right, I'm here, my middle finger's at the line, and I start to go down. Well, I'm 100% really restricted on this left ankle. This is an ankle I've messed up in the past. I continue to work on it. It's really important. So I know that I have a left ankle problem at this point, or a physical limitation. So one of the correctives that we can do, so if you do this with your clients at home or you have them do it and they stand there and they've got a limitation or the heels are coming off and they're only at the fingers or the palm, they may need a corrective exercise. So the first thing I'm going to show you is what I call, we use a band or we use some type of flossing. And so you can get them into a kneeling position. So I can take the floss or a band and I'll get into a position. And what I'll do is I'll be able to pull. So if I've got my band, I'm pulling the tibia. So that's what this bone is right here. I'm pulling this way while I'm allowing my body to go forward. And that's pretty easy for me. What I might do, we're gonna do this in multiple directions. Some of you might pull this way and it'll get a lot easier. Some of you might pull in this direction, or what we'll do is we'll actually turn the tibia. So if you grab your bone, you turn, and now you start to go, you're like, wow, that got easy. Or you turn this way and you're like, nope, that doesn't work. Whichever angle or pressure works best, do your ankle dorsiflexion or let the knee come forward in that motion. So for me, what was working really good is this right here. So if I put the band behind here and I pull, that's actually helping me out. So it's allowing my tibia to come forward and a lot of my tissue through here. The second exercise that I want you to try is against the wall. So our videographer is going to be here. You're going to want to get as close to the wall as possible. Now we call this is a kind of from Eldoa. And what we want to do is you want your butt on the ground. You want to get as close as you can with your butt on the ground. Now, a lot of people will feel burning or tingling back in the back. That's what we want. This is where your fascia, soft tissue lines are. And what's really important about this really does help out with your ankle mobility as well. So we get as close as we can get. And again, I've got some work to do. And I'm gonna have my feet straight ahead. My arms are gonna come up. I'm gonna tuck my chin. In this position, I wanna get my toes beneath my heels. So I wanna bring them down as close as I can. And some of you will feel this here, some of you feel it here. There's multiple different areas. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna tuck our chin, and then we're gonna let our arms fall down. Now we're gonna do this from anywhere from 25 seconds to start, building up to a minute. And what's gonna happen is you're gonna start to feel a little bit of release. You're gonna feel more ankle mobility when you get out of this. So once you say, we're going for 1 minute, once we get to 1 minute, we're gonna relax one arm, relax the second arm, relax one knee, relax the other knee, relax the neck. Always relax the neck last. So once you've done this and you're relaxed, okay, good, wait about 30 seconds, then we're gonna turn our toes in, same position, arms are up, bringing the arms down, shins tucked. Now bring those toes down and you're gonna feel the burn again, or you may feel a little bit of tingling through here. That's normal. So once you've done that for a minute, relax one arm, relax the other arm, bend one knee, bend the other, relax the neck. Once you've waited about 30 seconds, go back to straight again. Do this about 2 to 3 times a day and you'll see an increase in your ankle mobility. So those are what we are looking at right now. So basically, if you've got any type of ankle mobility problem, it can be joint or tissue. When we're doing the lunge with being able to turn the tibia and actually move, that's gonna affect the joint. When we're doing this, it's gonna help affect the tissue, or what we call the posterior chain. So there are 2 exercises that you can do if you're limited in your wall squat. So if you're your wall squat and you're going down, your heels are coming up, and you're noticing that your lines at your fingers or your palm, you may need these 2 exercises. Thank you, and I hope this helps out your players and it helps you perform better in tennis.